Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in and welcome back. WTP Sports is in the building, and we talking the NFC West tonight. But before we get to that, I got some very special guests with me tonight. The living legend, straight out of Ohio, Mr. Robert Brown. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing fantastic post game. Thanks for having me tonight. I'm ready to get into this NFC West breakdown. One of the best divisions in the NFL. I can't wait for us to get into this one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's going to be a great one. And I got my main man, Mr. SEC country, Sean. How you doing tonight, sir?
Really, really good. This is a division I was hoping was coming up soon. I like this division, and I'll admit to everybody, I'm a big, huge college football guy, probably a little bigger than the NFL. But brother, when you're talking this conference, this division, let's get it. I mean, this is going to be some good stuff right here.
I agree. I agree. The NFC West is going to be fireworks, and I can't wait to get into it. But round of applause for these fine gentlemen. I guess not. There we go.
I was fixing to say, what do you really think of us, both?
I think we got a strong team. That's for sure. I I mean, we got the preseason starting tonight. There's a lot of action going on. I know the Indianapolis Colts got the Patriots, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Green Bay Packers. All these teams are in action, and I'm just excited to have football. Like I'm an NFL and a college football guy. I gotta have both. So I'm excited, man, because that's only telling me we getting closer and closer and closer, man. It's about to pop off. And like I said on a past stream, I tell my kids handle their business at school, respect their mom, do their chores. Dad is going to disappear for about 6 months.
Can I ask a question before we get started here?
Absolutely.
You made a point that made me think of this question. We're all big football guys. Let's go. Everybody knows that. Okay, college, pro, whatever.
Yep.
Do you really enjoy the preseason football more because you get to see some of the young talent, maybe, or do you enjoy it more because there's at least football on your television screen until they kick off real games starting in a couple of weeks?
I think it's just like a benchmark. Like it's like I reached that point, going from January, February, all those months in between to now. It's let me know like it's here. Like and I do like scouting the young talent, seeing players, scouting for my fantasy football team first and foremost. But just seeing the young guys and if somebody's going to pop that's not expected to pop, it's kind of what I look for.
Yeah, it's a combination of both for me, man. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the younger players get out there and get some action to see how well they're doing. And also, man, listen, we've been waiting for this for months and months and months. And for it to finally get here and you can finally scratch that itch, man, give it to me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I'm about the same as both of y'all. So about the same. Plus, I was running out of things to rank in college football, so we need something on the TV.
Man, tell me about it. It's nothing like football to me, fellas. It's nothing like football.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it, man. We're not going to hold the people up. They came here to hear us talk about the NFC West, and I'm excited because I think this is one of the best divisions in football, if not the best. Returning Super Bowl champions, the Seattle Seahawks, the Rams and the Seahawks played for the right to be Super Bowl champions. But I want to start with the Arizona Cardinals, who finished last in the division. And, it's a lot being said about Marvin Harrison Jr. So I want to know, Rob, like, do you think Marvin Harrison is a bust? Like, given the hype he came into the NFL with?
No, I don't think he's a bust. I really feel like Marvin Harrison Jr. just hasn't been able to be put in the right situation to where he could get the rock. You would think that Kyler Murray would be a veteran quarterback, the type that understand, oh man, I'm about to get this phenomenal young talent, first round draft pick, the first wide receiver off the board. I'm going to find a way to utilize this talent I got on my team. And that just didn't happen. So I don't think he's a bust. I just think he's the circumstances just wasn't a good fit for him while Kyler Murray was there.
Yeah. I'm not going to call him a bust yet. He's not in the elite status of wide receivers. He's probably not even second tier right now. But I'm not calling him a bust because let's really be honest. Arizona's needed a lot of help. Kyler was injured part of that, there was some other issues with that whole Arizona Kyler Murray thing. We're not going to get into the depths of that, but there was some issues behind the scenes there for sure. I think what they've got coming this year with the running back they've got, not still sold on the quarterback so much, but I think we need to hold the boom, or not the boom, but the bust label for at least 1 year, and let's see what happens going forward.
Well, fellas, like, that's what I was going to ask y'all. Like, do y'all see, and I see you in the chat, Pop, salute to you. Do y'all see Marvelous Jr. Having a bounce back year? Could he finally realize, not saying he's been terrible, I'm just saying the hype he got coming from college into now. Do you expect him to take a leap this year, Rob?
I definitely expect him to take a leap this year. I think whenever you add a Jeremiah Love to your running back room, a guy who's going to be able to take some of that pressure off of the quarterback, off of the wide receiver group, I expect for him to become an integral part of their passing game, Marvin Harrison Jr., without having Kyler Murray there. I think he's going to have better stats. I mean, if you look at it, this guy was 14.9 yards a reception. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's a really good 14.5. My fault. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's a really good catch percentage, man. I mean, you get that many yards per reception. That's really good. That's a first down. So I really think that this is an opportunity for him to step his game up, to get his focus back. Because I think that's what has been his issue. He hasn't been quite as focused as he needed to be because of all that stuff and all that background noise. The background noise is gone. Go out there, grind, and do your thing. Because he's proven that he's one of the better route runners in the country, and he just got to get his focus.
What you got, SEC? What you expect from Marvelous Jr. this year?
Well, I mean, Rob mentioned it. Look at the yards per catch, okay? Look at the receptions. That's, 52 receptions a year, 746 receiving yards a year. Those aren't outstanding numbers. But I'm factoring in quarterback play with this too. It hasn't been the greatest. I agree that he needs to just put the blinders on, look straight ahead. And I'm not saying it's bad, but the phrase that comes to mind is shut up and do your job. And I'm not saying he needs to shut up because we know wide receivers will never do that. But he is so talented that I expect him to really blossom this year. And potentially, in my mind, move him up into the next tier up from where he is right now in the wide receiver rankings. I really expect it.
Yeah, those are some really good takes, fellas. Y'all starting off the stream on fire. Except I got one question for the chat. Has anybody seen Mossberg of Level Up Sports 10? Pretty soon, I'm going to start calling him Petty Eddie. No, that's my dog. Shout out to Mossberg. I listen, fellas. The NFL draft, I expected Rob's Titans to take Jeremiah Love. I really did, man. I thought that was the perfect situation for him. But the Arizona Cardinals drafting, they need a lot still. They need a lot. I wanted him to be paired with a franchise quarterback. I don't think Arizona has their franchise quarterback. I think Jacoby Brissett is solid. I'm not sold on Carson Beck, but I want to ask y'all about Jeremiah Love and the type of season, SEC Sean. What type of season, first year, rookie campaign do you expect from Jeremiah Love?
Rookie of the year.
Really? Rookie of the year?
Rookie of the year. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They're going to feed him. Not only do you get the rushing ability of that young man, which is otherworldly. He's got the speed. He's got a power like a Saquon. He's got the speed. He's got, I don't want to call him Saquon Barkley because that's not fair to Saquon Barkley and what he's done in his career, but the image I see of the running in the way, but the dude has some hands that are insane. He's catching turning around passes against A&M that were offline that shouldn't have been caught by a running back. And he grabs it and goes in. I mean, I honestly expect them to feed him. And I really do. I think he'll be rookie of the year, but if he's not rookie of the year, he's going to be right in that mix for it. And the person he might be in the mix with it for, I'm sure we're going to talk about in a few teams down the list, which is just unfair. But I'm expecting well over 1,000 yards, I'm going to go well over 1,000 rushing, and I'm even going to put it at over 450 receiving with combined maybe 19 touchdowns. I think this guy is that special, and I think Arizona has to feed him. He might even have 5 passing touchdowns. I don't know. He might be the best quarterback on the roster. So we're going to see. I really just think Arizona's going to rely on him, and if they get down near the goal line, he's getting the ball.
Let me ask you this real quick before Rob Cook. You don't see Tyler Algier and James Conner kind of taking, off his plate, especially when they get near the goal line or goal to go?
I don't. I think, and the reason I say that is, and that's a valid point. You're very valid. But here's my reasoning against it is Arizona has to do something for their fans. Their fans want love. If they don't keep them happy, this team's probably going to be on the move in a couple of years again. I think they have to. They know they're building for the future. This is your future at running back.
Yeah.
You have to use him, and by using him, let's just say he goes off at the first 7 games of the season, and he's going off and having a great season. You don't think tickets are going to increase going down, even if they're 3-14 on pace for that? They're going to sell a lot more tickets still because people want to see him. And that's why I think they'll feed him.
That's a strong point you make. I mean, Mr. Brown, what do you think Jeremiah Love, his statistics will look like in his rookie campaign, my man?
Well, man, I'm going in the opposite direction, man. I'm of the mindset that, listen, you got some other running backs in that room. Yes, Jeremiah Love should be your number one back. He should be the guy that gets the most touches. But I'm of the mind frame that this should be 60-40. 60 of those plays should be Jeremiah Love's. The other 40 should go to somebody else. Bring him along the same way the Atlanta Falcons did Bijan Robinson in year 1. Don't put the load on his back. Let him fill that thing out. And then by year 2, he'll be ready to cook and cook and cook. I think he's going to have a really good season because they need him to, and he's going to be an integral part of their offense. But don't give a man too much responsibility when you got two other veteran running backs in that room that can take some of that load from him. I hope that's what they do. I think he will get 1,000 yards rushing, and I think he will have a lot of yards receiving and have more than any of the other running backs receiving yard wise. But I think they should bring him along carefully. Don't throw that man in there and give him 75, 80% of those snaps.
Yeah, man, I'm kind of in the middle of both of you gentlemen. Like I feel like I don't think Arizona is going to be a winning team this year. I think they're rebuilding that roster. They're trying to get to a point where they compete with these dominant teams in their division. But at the same time, Jeremiah Love doesn't need many touches to be effective. You can give him a handoff at the 5-yard line. He'll take it to the house. Swing pass, screen pass, whatever the case may be. Just a dynamic athlete, man. And I think he's going to cook this year. But I do think, physical runs, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, goal to 3rd and goal. I think they'll bring in Algier and guys like that, so they don't bang him up in his rookie campaign too much. Any closing thoughts on the Arizona Cardinals, fellas?
No, good points though, Rob. Good points. I mean, they're valid. I mean, they're wrong, but they're valid. I mean, it's fine. I mean,
hey, I gotta be wrong every now and then.
Well, do you? What if they brought in on the goal to go? You mentioned this post game. What if they brought in Connor in a fullback role to clear it for Love?
I mean,
you could decoy a fullback dive.
I mean, do you really, with his injury past though, do you really want to bring Connor in?
Yeah, that's true.
As a fullback, I don't know. Maybe they could. I definitely think he's physical enough, but I just not saying Jeremiah Love is physical enough to handle goal line, runs, but why when Tyler Algier, he's a really underrated back and a physical guy who can get you those short yardage situations. So.
And I might have hyped his touchdowns up a little bit, but I think he's going to have at least double-digit minimum touchdowns.
Yeah, but here's the thing, SEC. I don't think that's far-fetched. I think he can have numbers like that. Yeah. That's how good of an athlete he is. Fellas, the San Francisco 49ers. This is a team that I always thought would be in the thick of things. They just seem like they can't stay healthy. And if you can't stay healthy, you won't be competing with the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks at all. But I want to know, can San Fran be in contention to win the West in a division with Seattle and LA, Mr. Brown?
I mean, man, just look at last year's record. They were 12-5 in a division with those two teams last year, who all three of them made the playoffs, and they finished 12-5. I think they're going to be as good, if not a little bit better, because I think Seattle might take a slight step back. They're not going to sneak up on anybody. Do we expect Sam Darnold to have that great of a year like he had last year? I don't. I think San Francisco is going to be right there. Remember, they've been dealing with a lot of injuries the last couple of years. If they don't have those injuries, they might be the best team in this division. Now, I'm not saying that they would have been, but they are a good enough team to finish the season 12-5 and make the playoffs. I like this team. I think they're going to be right there in the thick of things again this year. They added Mike Evans. If you get a healthy McCaffrey and a healthy Purdy, man, the sky's the limit for them. I really like the San Francisco, and the organization is great. And Kyle Shanahan is one heck of a coach. I think that's his name, Kyle Shanahan.
100%. 100%. SEC, what do you think? Do you think San Fran can compete with Seattle and the 49ers this upcoming season?
I think they can compete for sure. Do I put them at the favorite in this division? No. Could they win the division? Yes. Could they wind up going on a crazy run and winning the NFC? Yeah. I mean, this team has got talent on it. Brock Purdy has been one of the great stories of the NFL. Christian McCaffrey has had some injury issues, but it looked pretty good. Looked good last year. Adding Mike Evans, I think, adds another weapon for Purdy. Big, tall, physical receiver, proven in the NFL. I would think Mike Evans has made a name for himself that's pretty good over in Tampa Bay. You got a good tight end in Kittle. You're going to have a good defense over there. It's not probably Seattle's level defense from last year, but look, this was the toughest division in football last year in my mind. Anytime you put three teams in, so they all won at least one playoff game. San Francisco won a playoff game, and then the Rams won one, of course, and then Seattle won the whole thing. And they went 12-5, having to play Seattle and LA twice. So there was, just say you split, there's two of those three losses. So I think they can definitely compete, but I'm not penciling them in. It's the favorite in the division right now.
Yeah, look, those guys got to stay healthy, man. The Bosa bro got to stay healthy. I want to say they finished last or near the bottom of the NFL in sacks, and that had a lot to do with guys like Fred Warner and Bosa being injured. I don't know what it is about San Francisco, but their players can't stay healthy. George Kittle is trying to get back healthy. So I think health is going to play a major role in this team, specifically for the 49ers. I just don't know what it is, fellas. But SEC, you brought up Mike Evans and them bringing Mike Evans over from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What kind of season? Now, he's getting up there in age, but what kind of season do you expect from Mike Evans this year?
I don't want to put Mike Evans in. I mean, he is getting up there in age for sure, but I still expect Mike Evans to be one of the best receivers, one of the better receivers in the NFL. He's probably not going to meet his peak numbers that he had in Tampa Bay, but I'd see 1,000-yard season out of Mike Evans out there. I could see 1,000-yard receiving season in him for this year. But he is getting up there, so eventually they all lose the battle to Father Time. We all do. So, but I do expect him to have a good season. Nothing, oh, wow, MVP type-ish, but very, very solid. And to be honest, I think if him and Brock Purdy can build the relationship, I think it's somebody Brock Purdy can look to as a solid security blanket behind Kittle.
No doubt, no doubt. Rob, what do you think of Mike Evans and Brock Purdy? Do you like that pairing? Do you see Mike Evans being able to dominate this year?
I mean, I love the tandem. I don't expect for Mike Evans to dominate, but I expect him to be a really good addition and have a really nice season. Brock Purdy is not really a deep ball guy, but maybe Mike Evans ain't trying to take the top off of it anymore. It's a guy with veteran leadership that can go in that room and help those young guys out. But also, he can catch some of those short hitches. He's a bigger body guy. He can get some yak yardage. He can do some things to move the chains, and I think that's what he's going to be for Brock Purdy. I mean, you got Kittle, and you got a big body wide receiver like that who can move the chains for you, keep the drives alive. I think he's going to have a really nice season, and I know that Brock Purdy is probably jumping for joy because now you got a good wide receiver, you got a good running back, you got a good tight end. I mean, what else did you need? I mean, you want those kind of pieces around you to have a good season, and I think Mike Evans will have a really nice one.
run a flood concept with Evans, Kittle underneath, and McCaffrey underneath him. Good luck. That's what you're going to tell the DBs on that side. Good luck.
Yeah, artistically incredible. We hope that the San Francisco 49ers stay healthy come playoff time, because we know that that's been their Achilles heel the last couple of seasons. They just cannot stay healthy. Hopefully they can this season.
Yeah, that's their biggest issue. Health has to be top priority for that organization. There was a couple of years ago, they looked like they were world beaters, going to win the Super Bowl, and then it just tanked because they just started dropping like flies over there. It was just boom, 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 one after the other. But we'll see what happens. We noticed Postgame was having some difficulties, so we'll just keep going here a little bit. And allow him to get reconnected and refired down there. You good?
Yeah, I don't know. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
I don't know what the heck just happened. But Rob, I'm sorry, y'all. Rob, you got guys like Debo Samuel. Remember, they drafted Stribling. Kittle may be back, maybe middle of the year, fifth, sixth game of the year. Who knows? Do you see Mike Evans being his number one target? Is that going to be his go-to guy?
I think it should be. I mean, here's a guy who, even though he's had some injuries too, he's a guy who has shown that he can get open in this league. He's a guy who has shown that he can be a veteran wide receiver in the wide receiver room. I think he should be Brock Purdy's number one guy, even though he's a new guy in the organization.
Interesting. What about you, SEC Shine? Do you see anybody else taking that number one target away from Mike Evans in that wide receiver room?
I mean, it's not a wide receiver, but if Kittle was healthy, I'd say he might be, just due to the time frame there. But if you look at the hat, you know where I'm leaning. I mean, I'm not going against anybody that put on that maroon and white. So I think him and Brock are going to be there, and I think, especially until Kittle gets back, I think Evans is going to be the number one off the bat. I just think they're going to have a good rapport. It's somebody you can trust with good hands, whether it's on a hitch route, out route, crossing the middle. He can go up and get it if it's off. I think he's going to be his number one at the start of the season.
Yeah, I think so too. Guys, Christian McCaffrey, we got to talk about Christian McCaffrey. Here's a guy who's been often injured. Last year, he had over 300 carries, over 100 catches. So he's had a humongous workload. SEC Shine, do you think he's going to stay healthy this year? And if he does stay healthy, what type of season are you expecting from Christian McCaffrey?
I hope he stays healthy. I don't know that he will. If he has to have that kind of workload, I don't see him making it through 2 seasons with that workload. I just don't, and I hate it because I love to watch McCaffrey play. He is something else. So I think he's going to miss some time, to be honest with you. I'm not going to say it's a bad or anything crazy or out for the year. But it wouldn't be surprised me if we don't get, a deep thigh, some kind of little minimal 2-game, maybe 3-game, right around the bye week kind of, hey, we're just going to sit you and let you get better for the playoffs. I could see that. But, I mean, I expect him to have a good year, but he can't handle that workload again. There's no way. I'm sorry. He's run the ball too much so far, even being in this injury. His body has taken a beating already.
Yeah. What do you think, Rob? Again, man, over 300 carries, over 100 catches at the running back position. What's your thoughts on Christian McCaffrey this year in this advanced age?
I mean, I think he's still hungry, man. He still got something to prove out there. I think the reality is San Francisco got to understand who he is and what he is and how old he is and make sure that he gets some help out there that can spell him. He should not be carrying the ball 300 times in a season. Now, I don't mind him catching 100 balls because he's one heck of a daggone weapon out the backfield. So I don't mind him catching 100 balls, but I don't think I want him toting the rock 300 times. But I think he's going to have a really productive season. He's still hungry. He still want to do it. I think he wants to win a Super Bowl, and I think the best opportunity he has to do it is maybe to be out there on third downs because he can still pass block pretty well and allow somebody else to tote some of those carries in between those 20s.
Yeah, no doubt about that. When we talk about receptions leaders, like I can if he's able to stay healthy, that's a heavy workload for a running back at that age. If he's able to stay healthy, I can see Christian McCaffrey actually leading the team in targets and reception. But he's gonna have to prove he can stay healthy at this age. He's getting up there. One of the best running backs, in my opinion, of all time is Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, let's move on to them Rams, to them Los Angeles Rams, man. Man, I picked this team to win the Super Bowl last year, and they were so close. So the question I got, Rob, or who I don't remember the order, but I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Brown. the like, what do you if Aaron Donald, because I think it's gonna happen at this point. I didn't think it would happen, but I think it's gonna happen now. Now I'm a believer. With Miles Garrett added via trade from the Cleveland Browns, and if Aaron Donald is able to come back, unretire and come back, what do you expect from that defensive line?
Man, I'm still hoping that Aaron Donald does not come back. I'm still saying no to that, even though it looks like he might be coming back. But man, if he does, that defensive line is going to be nuts. I mean nuts. And I would almost put them right behind. Matter of fact, I would put them right behind the Houston Texans defensive line. And it's really close between them two if Aaron Donald comes back. I really feel like he might do it, but I just don't see it. A guy who sat out 2 years and all of a sudden he want to come back because you get Myles Garrett. I don't think he's going to do it, but if he does, that defensive line is going to be nuts, bro. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Aaron Donald may be the best defensive tackle in the last however many years you want to say. Myles Garrett, one of the best defensive end in the last how many years you want to say. SDC Sean, what's your thoughts on that, man? What do you expect from that defensive line if Donald comes out of retirement?
I'm on the boat with you post game. I think it's when, not if. I think he's coming back. And I'm here for it. And I'm here for it for a couple of different reasons. Look at the division we're talking about, and we've all already mentioned Seattle's defense from last year. Now add this defense in with it, with Aaron Donald, Myles Garrett out there. This whole division might wind up being something like every game amongst those three teams, at least, might wind up being 9-6. These defenses are going to be nasty in this division. Myles Garrett to that defense. First off, I'm a huge Myles Garrett guy. I'm excited as hell that he's in Los Angeles now because I think that's his first shot to win a title. And I'd love for that guy to get a ring. But man, that defense was pretty good last year. It's got phenomenally better this year. even without Donald. But I'd like to see Donald come back. I don't know how much Donald's going to be able to give is the problem, at least early in the season. I mean, he's been working out, I'm sure, but working out and game workout and game speed are two totally different ball games. So we're going to see, but I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a nasty, nasty defense. And the offense, we don't even really need to mention when you start looking at who they got over there on that side of the ball.
Like, do y'all see a situation where Aaron Donald doesn't really play on first or second down? Like, they just bring him in, obvious pass rushing situations, at least to begin the year.
I do.
I mean, I think they still got Poona Ford, and Poona Ford, I think, can still be their first and second down defensive tackle there. But shoot, with both of them out there, you ain't running the ball nowhere on them two dudes. Both of them at 6 foot, but man, they are some studs, boy.
Yeah, you put him out there on third down. You're not double teaming anybody. You can't.
You can't.
So now you're going one-on-one with Donald, or you're one-on-one with a left tackle against Myles Garrett. I mean, that's a no-win situation. Your quarterback better get out of there. Or you better have a quick dump off call, because it's not going to end well.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, because I think having Myles Garrett, who I personally think is the best player in the NFL, regardless of position, I think Myles Garrett is that dude. You don't have to force him minutes and snaps and plays. He can be on the sideline sipping Gatorade, but when it's time to get after a quarterback, that duel of Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett is going to absolutely wreak havoc on the NFL. And I think that might be the difference, because I expect him to start slow. He's not going to be the same guy. I don't think we can expect him to be the same guy. But as the season goes on, I think he's going to be better and better. And I think that's going to be the difference when you talk about the Los Angeles Rams making the Super Bowl or not. That pairing is going to be the difference. Any closing thoughts on that defensive line, fellas? Let's look at their running back situation, because you got Kyron Williams from Notre Dame. He's been a dude. It seems like every year everybody is expecting Blake Corum to replace him as RB1, but it hasn't happened. And Kyron Williams has been really good in the NFL, really one of the better running backs in the NFL for the Los Angeles Rams. So, SEC Sean, do you see a scenario where Blake Corum either takes RB1 from Kyron Williams, or is this the year that it's truly a 50-50 split?
I don't think he takes it from him. I'd lean more split in this season. I think everybody, you're right, expected Corum to take that job and kind of run with it and make it his. And he just never did. Just goes to show everybody, just because you're a superstar in college doesn't mean you're going to be a huge immediate hit in the NFL. It's a little different up there, but I mean, I would see more of a split, which I do think benefits this offense, by the way, to have more of a split, a 50-50. I might even lean more of a 60-40, Kyron 60, Corum 40. I would go somewhere in that range. I think Kyron has deserved, based on what he's done so far, the majority of the carries. I think he's earned that.
Yeah.
So, but I think Corum provides that other 40% that keeps him healthy. They're going to need probably both of them to go where the Rams want to go, in my mind. So, I think it's a perfect situation for that offense.
No doubt about that.
I think Blake Corum is going to get more touches, but I still think that Kyron Williams is still running back one, in my opinion. for me, when you look at organizations, man, organizations are not going to tote out two guys and let them two guys both eat. And then when it comes time to have to do contracts, now all of a sudden you got to pay two guys now. One of them dudes is going to be held down a little bit, and it's probably going to be Blake Corum, unless they decide they're going to eventually move on away from Kyron Williams at the end of his contract. So I think Corum's going to get more touches, but he's not going to be running back one. I still think Kyron Williams is the man. I think he deserves that opportunity to be running back one, and I think he will be.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to inch closer to a 50-50 split, but I think Kyron Williams is still the dude. Listen, I even like Blake Corum was such a monster at Michigan in college. That dude was a monster. And I think this year you'll see closer to a 50-50 split, but I still think Kyron is the dude. Any closing thoughts on the RBs for the Rams? So the Seattle Seahawks, Rob, they get the Super Bowl. They get the job done. A lot of people expected the Rams to get the job done. I was one of them. I'm sorry. Before I get to the Rams, I got to ask y'all this. Where do you have Puka Nacua ranked? Do you think he's the best wide receiver in the NFL? Before we get to the Rams.
Do I think
No.
No.
None of us think Puka is wide receiver one in the NFL. I can
He
dig
might
it.
be the Rams wide receiver one, but he ain't the best in the NFL.
He's in the tier one of NFL wide receivers, but he's not number one in that tier. I think number one in that tier, and call it whatever you want, I think number one in that tier sits right down the road from us in Ohio and sits right in Cincinnati.
See, I agree with you. I would take Jamar Chase. I still would take Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's about where it ends. So around fourth or fifth. But I think he's really good, man. And he's in a really good offense in a really good situation. But let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks. Defending Super Bowl champions. A lot of people did not expect Sam Darnold to be able to lead a team to a Super Bowl, but regardless of what you think of Sam, he gets the job done. And I want to know, Rob or SEC Sean, do you think first of all, where do you rank Sam Darnold amongst starting quarterbacks in the NFL?
I don't. This is tough because I mean, the dude's got Super Bowl champion. Okay, so, but he's probably low end of a tier 2 quarterback for me. He's not tier 1. There's some guys in front of him, but I think he's right on that cut line between 2 and 3. I think Darnold played extremely well last year. He had a hell of a running game. He had a hell of a defense. Okay. So let's see what happens this year. But I still think there's too many quarterbacks, tier 1 in front of him, and there's some tier 2s in front of him too. Serviceable quarterback, don't get me wrong. Obviously, he's good enough to win a Super Bowl with the right pieces. But I can't put him in the top, like high top 2 tier.
So Matthew Stafford, Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, and Jacoby Brissett. Everybody thinks he ranks around 3rd, right?
Darnold?
Yeah, in that division, just the division.
If we're talking just the division, to be honest with you, I'm probably flip a coin, 2nd or 3rd. I think you could flip him and Brock Purdy If you put Brock Purdy on that same Seahawks team, do they win the title?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
That's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
so.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I think those two are interchangeable. But if you put Darnold on the 49ers, do they go 12-5? See, I don't think so. That's why I think you have to lean third for Darnold.
Right. Shout out to Artistically Incredible. He said, "Is he like a Nick Foles?" That's interesting. Mr. Brown, where do you think Sam Darnold ranks? Do you think he's in that upper echelon of quarterbacks in the NFL?
Nah, he's somewhere in the middle of the pack, somewhere around 16 to 20. I don't see him up that high. Sam Darnold really just had a good season. Now, he did pretty decent in Minnesota, and I actually wanted my Tennessee Titans to get Sam Darnold when he was on the market because I didn't know if we were ready to get take a quarterback with the first pick, but of course we didn't go that route. I like Sam Darnold. I think he's a very serviceable quarterback. He's going to be able to do the things that we saw him do with Seattle when he got the pieces around him. He's learning how not to make so many mistakes. He's starting to understand the NFL game. But, if he didn't have that defense, he probably wouldn't have won that Super Bowl or that running game. So, I mean, he's still a middle of the pack quarterback to me. I don't think he's better than Trevor Lawrence.
Rob, would you rank him last in this division or third?
I'm going to say this. If Kyler Murray was still at Arizona, I would pick Kyler Murray ahead of him. So he would be last in that case. But right now he's third, because he's better than Brissett.
Yeah, man. I'm not hating. This ain't a knock, but I would take every quarterback in this division over Sam Darnold, except for Jacoby Brissett. That's the only quarter, and really, I'm having a hard time putting him over Brissett. And man, listen, he balled out. Man, he's rejuvenated his NFL career. I'm not knocking the guy, man. It's just I don't know. I need to see. I'm like SEC Sean on this. I need to see this year. I really do. Let's move to the RBs. They take Jadarian Price in the first round of the NFL draft, running back out of Notre Dame, who basically split carries with Jeremiah Love. It's very interesting that they're both in the same division this year. What type of season do you expect from Jadarian Price as Zach Charbonnet is not healthy, and there's no telling when he'll be fully healthy and able to contribute as a running back on this team? Mr. Brown, what type of season do you expect from Jadarian Price?
I think he's going to have a really good season. This is one of those situations that I don't like, though. The other running back is hurt. You're going to put all of this on a rookie, and I know he's good. But, man, I just feel like NFL teams nowadays, they don't want to bring that rookie in and give them 1 million carries like the Houston Oilers did Earl Campbell. You just don't want to do that because you want these guys to have a longer shelf life than what they've been having, and you want to lean towards having two really good running backs that you can service. And I think without Zach being out there, that's gonna put a much more of a load on Price, and I just don't like that. But it is what it is. I think he's going to have a phenomenal season. He's a really good running back. I just hope that guy gets healthy so that he can help take some of that load off of Price.
Yeah, what about you, SEC? What type of season do you see coming from the Golden Domer, Jadarian Price?
Well, I think I should have known it was coming based on who's on the stream. But we've talked about two Notre Dame running backs. And we've had comparisons to two other running backs. And both of those running backs that were used were from the University of Texas. I don't know why. I shouldn't have been surprised. Postgame, I'm gonna let you go ahead and put the check in the mail. We're gonna go co-rookie of the year with Love. I'm kidding. Seattle's not kicking themselves for letting Walker go. Okay, I'm going to say that right now. I think that was their game plan. Let him go, pray Price is sitting there, and take him. But they're going to have to lean on him. They are going to have to lean on him probably more than Arizona. But, I mean, you also have an elite wide receiver sitting outside too that can do a little stretch into the field. So I expect a really, really solid season for Love. I'll probably go ahead. I would tell you I would pencil Love in for top 5 rookie of the year in voting in my mind. I would honestly see that. It wouldn't shock me if him or Love won it, to be honest with you. I think those two are the front runners in my mind, just based on where they landed and what Seattle wants to do, knowing that Price is going to have to be the lead back for a while, and Love is going to have a little more freshness on him down the line. So I expect these were by far the 2 best running backs in this draft. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There was nobody close to these two from a skill set position. Both are strong. Price is a little quicker, but Love ain't slow. And both have good hands. So they're your typical 3-down back. You can put them in any down, and they're going to provide you a weapon to use. So I'm looking for a good season out of Price. I'll say top 5 rookie of the year.
See, this is what worries me, though, about Jadarian Price. Last year, we saw Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet in a timeshare. And what Mike McDonald likes to do is he likes to rotate running backs. Now, I know that Zach Charbonnet won't be healthy to start the season, but the fear for me when it comes to Jadarian Price's statistics is that he's going to be taken off the field like Kenneth Walker was last year. Now, don't get me wrong. Kenneth Walker had a monstrous playoff run and a Super Bowl run. But I think he left, and SEC Sean made a great point, because he wanted to be a 3-down back. And he's going to get that opportunity in Kansas City. I don't know if Seattle's going to allow Jadarian Price to be a 3-down back. But outside of that, heck of a pick, and I'm excited to see him. Any closing thoughts on the Seattle Seahawks, defending Super Bowl champions, fellas? No? Okay, so I'm a just flat out ask you, Mr. Brown, who's the best player in this division?
Well, it was Jackson Smith and Jigba until Myles Garrett got there. It's Myles Garrett by a landslide, man. There's nobody in this division better than Myles Garrett.
I mean, can we do like cross-pollination and do a Miles Smith and Jigba? Can we do Jackson Garrett? Can we do something like that? Because I want that guy. It's Myles Garrett. No disrespect to JSN. JSN has been a stud since high school. Pretty much single-handedly took down one of the premier powers, Allen, Texas, by himself in a playoff game. He's phenomenal, but it has to be Myles Garrett. I'm with you, Post. I think you could ask this question, and if he was in every conference, and the answer is going to be Myles Garrett in every conference we come to. I think everybody would agree that he's probably the best player on the football field.
I agree. I think it's Myles Garrett. Do y'all nobody's gonna make a case for Matthew Stafford? No?
I mean, you can, but I mean, I think what Matthew Stafford has done is amazing, but I'm not putting Matthew Stafford ahead of Myles Garrett.
Okay. Robbie, anything else?
I mean, Matthew Stafford, that's a serious case right there, man. I know he's right there too. He's probably more important to the Rams' success than Myles Garrett, but Myles Garrett, yeah, he's the best, man. He's the best in the league, probably.
I agree. 100%. So let's let the people know, man. And we appreciate everybody in the chat. We appreciate y'all coming to rock with us tonight as we break down the NFC West. Smash that like button. I got to ask y'all, and I'm going to start with SEC. Who's going to win the NFC West this year?
Click the wrong button. The Rams. And I'm going to go a step further. The Rams are going to the Super Bowl. And I'll go a step further. Against Houston. And Houston wins.
Wow. Okay. I feel it, man. I really like that pick. I think the Rams are the team to beat, especially if they get that monster back. Mr. Brown, who do you got winning the NFC West, man?
The Rams.
That's it. That's all, huh?
That's it. That's all. Nothing else needs to be said. The Rams.
Okay, so fellas, man, I like the Rams, man. I picked them last year. I really thought they were going to get it done. How many teams in this division are going to make the playoffs? You got Arizona, San Fran, LA Rams, Seattle Seahawks. How many teams do y'all see making it, Mr. Brown?
I got three. I got those same three teams making it again. I think when you look at everybody in this division, in this conference, they are probably the three best teams in the freaking conference. I don't know that the Cowboys are ready to compete with those three teams. I don't know if the Philadelphia Eagles are ready to get back up there. I know the Giants aren't. I think they're the three best teams in this conference. So I got all three of them making it again.
How about you, SEC? What do you think? Who's going to make the playoffs out of this division?
I mean, it has to be three. I'm with Rob. I see three out of here. The winner of the other three, and I don't know who else comes out after that. I don't know if it's the East gets another one. I don't know if it's the North, but I just don't see it. It'd be crazy. Three again from the same division. Man, it's insane. And then poor Arizona's sitting down there just licking their wounds. Now, I mean, maybe Arizona gets lucky and they play a team after they have to go play Seattle or the Rams and they're all beat up and they sneak a few wins. I don't know. But it's three. The answer's three here.
Three teams. And I'm going to say three teams. I think three teams get to the playoffs out of this division. So I like the picks, fellas. Before we get out of here, and I think SEC Sean already answered this question, Rob. So I gotta ask you: are any of these teams your personal Super Bowl favorite?
Yeah, I got the Rams winning it all, man. I really do think that they're going to beat the Houston Texans for the Super Bowl championship. I think it's going to be the Texans if they can stay healthy and CJ Stroud can do what he needs to do with that defense. I really feel like those two teams are going to be in the Super Bowl, but I got the Rams winning it.
Hey, Postgame, can you put him in timeout? That's illegal use of words. He needs to be out of here.
Well, the SEC, I know you got the Texans, right?
Right.
So I'm not gonna ask you your Super Bowl favorite, but I'm gonna ask you this: do you think Seattle has sort of a Super Bowl hangover? Is that why you picking the Rams?
No, I honestly think, even with Price and how much love I have for Jadarian Price up there in Seattle, I think the Rams are the better team this year going into it. When you add your team doesn't get worse when you add a Myles Garrett. And your team doesn't get worse when Aaron Donald is considering coming back. Even if he doesn't, you're a better team than last year. If he comes back, I'm not going to say 83 or it was 85 Bears, but that's going to be pretty dang close to that defensive line.
No doubt about it. Fellas, this was fun as always when we get together. Man, I can't wait for football to start. The NFC West is going to be extremely interesting. I can't wait to see what happens. Mr. Brown, you got anything else before we get out of here, sir?
Man, I just hope my predictions are right. That all three of those teams make it. I hope that Marvin Harrison Jr. has a much better season, and I hope that we get to see some really, really good football. I'm going to go try to watch a little bit of preseason before I go to bed. Hopefully, what we said tonight comes true at the end of the season.
The SEC, man, you got anything else before we get out of here, my man?
No. It's almost football season, gentlemen. It's almost real football season. Let's put it that way. We got football on, but it's almost time to kick it off for real.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Make sure y'all join us this Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We appreciate everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way out. Have a great night. And for Mr. Robert Brown, the living legend, Mr. Robert Brown, for SEC Sean, the SEC man, and for myself, Mr. Postgame of Postgame Sports, we out of here. Peace.